So those of you who have probably tried to enter an amateur competition, you'll have noticed that they say brew on premises are not eligible to enter. And this is one of the main reasons why, the temperature control.
Yeah, so a little bit different from the home brew, obviously, when it comes to consistency-wise. They might try to brew the same brew in winter and summer, and it may taste a little bit different just due to the fact I believe that it comes down to a fair bit of fermentation temperature. So this sits at 18.5, 19 degrees throughout the whole brewing process. So these are our little babies in here. So they sit in here generally for 7 or 8 days, and they just bubble along. They ferment for us, and we'll give them a final gravity to make sure they are coming down to the alcohol percentage we're after. So once they've done that, they'll then move into our cool room, which is also our conditioning room. So once they're finished fermenting, we then shift them into our cool room here, and so they sit in here generally for about another week, and they'll condition nicely. Generally, the longer they will stay in this room here, the better quality of the beer. So we do find most brewers are happy to pick it up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Sure.
But we're also happy for them to continue in there a little bit longer, just to make the beer a little bit more conditioned. Just like a home brew, it does seem to bottle condition or key condition nicely as well.
Yes,
so,
yes.
So then you've got your 2 different styles of the bottlers, the guys that will bottle and then the guys that will keg. So as you see, we've probably got probably a bottler around the corner here. You can probably see Colin bottling his beer.
Yes. So these are the fill stations or the bottling stations?
Yes, these are our bottling stations. So we've got 6 bottling stations. We made that 2 weeks prior, and he's now ready to bottle his beer and take 50 litres, equivalent to about your 6 cartons home, and put them straight in the fridge.
Right. So when it comes to the kegging side of things, you will actually just fill the kegs for the customer?
Yeah, we will. Yeah, so
nice
generally,
nice
it is nice and quick. It's obviously we've had to probably cater for the change over time. It used to be a lot of 80% bottlers, 20% keggers. During the last 5 years, things have changed. So it's now a lot of keggers. Probably turned around now. We've got 80% of keggers and only the 20% of bottles. So they'll bring their kegs down. We'll give them a clean, sterilise, and then it's about a 6 or 7 minute process to fill their kegs up. And they're in and out, very happy.
Yep. And otherwise, the bottlers turn it into a family affair.
Well,
bring
that's
a few
it.
mates down.
Exactly. They'll come down here, have a bit of fun with a neighbour, father, mate, and enjoy the process.
Fantastic.
No worries.
Great stuff. Keep up the good work.
Thanks very much.
mate.
Cheers.
You're watching BrewTV. Cheers.
So we're at the Old Crossroad Brewery again, and this time we're going to have a chat to Steve about the ciders that he produces on site. Welcome, Steve.
G'day.
So, as you can see, we're having a look at a really nice drop. This is the pear, and Steve's poured the apple. And be aware that it's not like the old ciders of the 60s where it was sickly sweet. This is a real surprise when you have a taste.
Yeah, it's a local cider made from local fruit, all 100% local fruit from Donnybrook. And we source the fruit as the season goes on. So essentially, what you're getting is whatever's in season fruit-wise. And so you'll notice that the ciders are a little cloudy, which is just the way we like it. So there's no filtration. We sort of essentially do as little as we can to the ciders. We bottle condition so that the ciders are re-fermented in the bottle, and that gives it the carbonation. And we're also putting into these, get that out of the way, 5 litre or 9 pint as we call them, craft kegs. So they're a self-gas system. So that I've had the first trial batch I did with cider, and I've had sitting in the fridge at home for about 4 months now, and it's still as good as the day it went into the keg. So as the cider runs out, it squirts a bit of CO2 in, keeps a constant pressure, keeps it nicely gassed and fresh as well. And it's also fermented in this keg, so the ciders will be, the apple at least initially will be available.
Mentioning apple, you're about to start a brew on the apple, aren't you?
Yeah, we're about to crunch this morning.
How about we go and have a look at it?
Sure.
The process.
Come out the back and we'll get into it.
Thanks, Steve.
So the way this works is there's a bladder inside it, hooked up to a water supply, so we turn the water supply on and it just basically, the bladder expands and squeezes the pulp up against the stainless steel up to about 3 bar of pressure. So what's running out at the moment is just what they call free run, so that's just under its own weight. We're not pressing it, so we've got that all tight.
So this is the first time you've used your brand new press? So
Yes, it is, yeah. It's the first, the maiden voyage, so to speak.
Maiden voyage.
Yeah.
And it
So
comes
this is it's a Slovenian press. The previous one I had was Italian. Yeah, so the previous one was an 80 litre press, and this is a 250 litre, so we've sort of trebled the size. So we're hoping we can get through one of these bins, which holds about 400 kilos in 2 presses, is the idea. Whereas previously that would sort of take us 7 or 8 presses.
Yeah. So I noticed
And it's a tilting frame as well, so the idea is that it tilts, as you can appreciate, there's a lot of weight in there, so it tilts, and the theory is you just pull it all out,
Fantastic.
rather than having to actually lift it, which is what we did before.
Which makes life a lot easier for you.
Yes.
And I see you using pink lady apples this time, but
Yeah, so they're sort of at the end of the season now. I probably won't get much fruit now until the end of February when the new varieties start to ripen. So a lot of the growers have had these in cold store up to this point, and then they'll clear all their storage out ready for the new season.
Yeah. So you'll often do a blend of Granny Smith and pink lady and
Whatever's in season is what I use. So if you just get straight grannies, it's quite a sort of tart, uninteresting cider. So I usually try and blend some reds in with the grannies, or occasionally I'll even blend some pear in with the grannies, just to sort of round it out a little bit. In fact, the pear and the grannies make a really nice cider.
So, in all fairness, if you're going and getting some of Steve's cider, it's changing all year round. So it's not something that is set in concrete. Depending on the blend, depending on the time of the year you're drinking it, you've got that slight subtle changes from time to time, which makes it really interesting.
Should we start the press?
We'll start the press and see the action.
Now, sometimes these squirt a fair bit, so
Well,
basically you're filling the bladder with water, so it's expelling air out of here. So once we get water out of there, the bladder's full, now it'll start to press. This is bore water we're filling this with. So no, the bore water can actually come in contact with the fruit, so just inside that bladder, and then it's drained out through this green hose when you're finished.
Beats the old days of doing manual.
Well, we started off with a basket press, a winemaking basket press.
Yeah.
Which was a lot of work.
Oh, here it comes.
There she goes. The bladder's full, so we should start to see it press out the juice shortly.
So how many batches a week would you do?
We just tend to do one big batch here, and then that'll be kicked off or bottled. Yeah, so we'll probably do about 1,000 litres today.
So
we'll end up roughly 50%. So I mean that's what we did with the old press, but this one is even more efficient, I'm not sure. But a ton of fruit. So 2 tonne of fruit per 1,000 litres of juice. It's starting to flow out pretty quickly there.
We've tasted this juice, it's beautiful. It's got a lovely flavour to it. And of course, the other good thing about this is genuine, straight off the apple. It's not concentrates. So we see a lot. Some products are concentrates, and really
Probably
you never know what you get.
most of the ciders, certainly the commercial ciders are organic concentrate.
Yeah.
And the concentrate has to have a pectinase enzyme added to it to clear it, so it's very, very clear. And it will be filtered as well and pasteurised, so it's a pretty sterile sort of product.
Yeah. So if you want that natural product, look for the slight cloudiness, because this is a fair indication that